Hello, my friends on LinkedIn and YouTube. Maria and I are in the house. I am waiting for my StreamYard to connect. Oh, I see it connecting. Let me go live in my Facebook group, the Be a Confident Entrepreneur group. You just make sure. Looks like we are live there too. Maria, happy Tuesday.
Hi, Tracy. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here with you. You guys know how I like to do things. I told Maria, I said, I'll set this up on StreamYard. On StreamYard, Maria and I have LinkedIn and YouTube live right now. I've also looped in my free Facebook group to Be a Confident Entrepreneur group because we are maximizing our time as smart CEO women. We're going to go live in all the places.
Love it.
Today, Maria and I have been talking about this for a couple of weeks, and we landed on a topic that I feel like, and this was Maria's idea, she gets full credit for this, but I feel like this is really going to resonate with a lot of you, especially because today is the start of Q2. So Maria and I are doing a collaboration conversation. We are jazzed about it. We're talking about the shoulds, okay? The shoulds when it comes to our business growth. And I think that word should, it needs to be just eliminated from our personal and business vocabularies. Don't you think so, Maria?
I agree 1,000%. I call them the shouldas, and you call them the shoulds, but they mean the same thing.
Yep. Maria's got the Canadian version. I've got the Southern American version. So y'all get ready for some real talk. We're going to have an honest conversation that's going to hopefully set you up for our authentic growth for Q2. So Maria, introduce yourself to everybody.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for joining forces with me today. I'm excited about this topic. I like uncovering false truths and giving people transparency. And if I can, pull back the curtain and we can share a little bit of these things, I think that's a good topic indeed. So yeah, my name is Maria Platusic. I am the owner and creative director behind Platusic Design Creative Studio. I am a rebrand strategist, messaging and positioning pro, branding and website designer for business owners and entrepreneurs that are looking to scale and grow their businesses and brands. I've been in this space for about 25 plus years in the branding space. I went to college to get my degree, but my real education started when I worked at corporate design agencies and design firms across the Toronto GTA area. I was an art director and designer there as well. Yeah. I helped Fortune 500 companies develop and build their brands and brand assets. And now I want to give that same caliber, well, the past 14 years, but I provide that same caliber of expertise to small business owners so that their voice and talents can be heard and utilized. And I partner with them on that rebranding journey, removing all unnecessary parts of trudging, at least as many as I possibly can. So that's a bit about what I do. And yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, removing the trudging. I love that. And you said you've been doing this for 25 years. So that means you started when you were 10, right?
I wish. No. I actually just turned 48. So yeah. All right. Well, but I love it. I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome. You said that and I was like, well, she started when she was 10. She graduated college. All right, my friends. So I'm going to introduce myself really quick, and then we're going to dive into this. So if you haven't ever met me before, I am Tracy Beavers. I'm an award-winning business and sales coach, and I do also have over 20 years of experience in marketing, sales, and business growth. And about 7 years ago, I became completely, utterly, finally fed up with my corporate career, and I hatched a plan to exit. And I want to share with you that once I did, my business boomed. And in my second full year of being a business coach in the online space, I busted through the six-figure ceiling and I haven't looked back. And I share that with you because if you are in a corporate job right now that does not feel good to you, or you've left the corporate job and you're wondering, when is my business going to be successful? When am I going to have the income I want that to inspire you. You can build a business just like I have, just like Maria has. And what I do for my clients, I've coached hundreds of entrepreneurs over the years. I teach all organic visibility and list growth strategies. The strategies I teach, we ramp up your visibility where your audience goes, Maria, I see you everywhere. But Maria knows she's not everywhere 24/7. It just looks like she is. And all that visibility leads directly to her email list and DM conversations for new leads and income. I teach you how to get that list growth and leads coming in automatically every day in the background of your business. All right. Well, since we've got so many platforms going, Facebook, Instagram, not Instagram, Facebook, my Facebook group, and YouTube and LinkedIn, y'all put your questions and comments into the chat for us. We're going to be looking at those as we go along. So if you have a question, go ahead and pop it in. If you're coming to us on replay and you have a question, go ahead and ask it. Toss it into the comments and tag us. And if it's a branding question, I'm going to tag my friend Maria and have her answer because she's the expert. And if it's a list growth visibility, I got you. No worries. All right. Let's get into this conversation. Maria, I'm so excited. The shoulds of online business growth. There are so many opinions about everything. And it's tough to know when to listen and when to implement, right? And when to tune out and listen to ourselves. So, there are so many, don't you find, Maria, that there are so many opinions in the online space?
I truly do. And I think overall, the opinions and the shouldas out there, they keep, business owners paralyzed sometimes and stuck in inaction. Mm-hmm. And I feel like our topic today can really highlight the pieces to avoid, which is why I'm excited to share it. And, a lot of the times I think it's just that it's the end user pushing their own secret agenda towards their client by giving them products or services or items they don't necessarily need at all, or just yet. They might not need it yet. Or they can push them to, follow certain frameworks that might not be sustainable for them to execute. And I think that's the key word, is sustainability. Like, will you be able to maintain this moving forward? And then it leaves that person thinking, I did all of the things. I checked off all of the boxes. Why isn't this working for me? Right. And I think that's a big question there. And underlining, I think it's just the question we can all ask ourselves to maintain that integrity is, are we keeping our clients' best interests at heart? Truly keeping it at heart. And that's at the core of what I do, no matter the outcome. So whether they choose me or not, it's holding with integrity. Am I keeping their best interests at heart? So this is us uncovering those pieces. And I'm excited to dive in.
Yeah, me too. All right. Let me give one of the big shoulds that I hear all the time as a visibility and list growth strategist. Maria, tell me if you've heard this one before. I should post every day on social media. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I've heard this a lot. And I've also heard I should post not only every day on social media, but on all the platforms. Okay. And I hear this from my clients and students, and I can tell they're overwhelmed, and I can tell they're frustrated, and they are facing burnout. Because it's when you're first, especially if you're first starting out. When I was building this alongside my corporate job, there was no way in heck I could have posted every day on social media and maintained my sanity and gotten anything else done. If you've got a virtual assistant or something, and it's possible for you to have that person assist you to post every day on social media, knock yourself out. But I just don't think it's necessary. What I recommend is that my clients and students pick one platform, just one. Facebook is my jam. LinkedIn is my secondary. I also have a YouTube channel. That's because StreamYard gives that to me as a destination. And I thought, well, what the heck? I'll just go live on YouTube and create a YouTube channel, right?
Love it.
And I'm only on Instagram, y'all, because I have an assistant. So I want you to pick one platform, just one. I want you to go all in on it and create the content that you can create to be consistent every week. And what I mean by that is, if you know in your heart, okay, I can create 3 pieces of content each week, and I know I can maintain that week in, week out, rain or shine, vacation or not, I'm sick, the kids are sick, the wheels fall off the bus at the house, I can still do 3 days a week. That's what I want you to start with. Because the minute we go all in and get excited and we get burned out and then we stop doing anything on social media, then we get started again and we get excited and then we stop. That's where your consistency, that's where the algorithm can't figure out who you are. That's where your audience is wondering who you are. And so we've got to make sure that whatever we start with on social media, we can maintain on the long haul. And with all of those posts and everything driving engagement and calls to action for your list growth. All right, let me get into another should that really gets my goat. Maria, tell me if you've heard this one. I should have a massive number of followers and a big email list before I can make money. Have you heard that one?
Yep. I've heard it a few times. Yes.
Yeah. I know you know what I'm going to say. I know you know what I'm going to say. We want quantity over quality, y'all. Did I say that right? Quality over quantity. Quality over quantity.
Yes.
I would rather you have a dialed in list like I do. I have a list of 3,500. It fluctuates between 3,500 and 4,000 people at any given time during the year, just based on what's going on. And I have a multi-six-figure business. Okay. I have maybe 4,000 followers on Instagram. I think I have 5,000 Facebook friends and another few thousand followers. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even look at it. But the quality is what I'm looking for there. You guys, let me give you an example, a really good example of this. Last summer, I had a client hire me to help her create an online course and get it out into the world. She had a huge following on Instagram. When we met, it was about 300,000. By the time we finished our 3 months together, her Instagram had grown to 800,000. It's probably exceeded that by now. She started a YouTube channel during our work together and it grew to 300,000. Now, I cannot take credit for those things because I don't focus on follower count or content or YouTube. I'm focusing on list growth and having people make money. She was making no money, $0. 800,000 followers on Instagram with $0. I would rather have my small number and making the money that I'm making and having the impact that I'm having with my clients and students than have a whole bunch of followers and making no money. All right. Third thing. And then I'm going to toss it to Maria because I could do this all day. I should have the perfect lead magnet before I start growing my list. Okay. Nothing we ever do is going to be perfect. If we are waiting for perfect, we are going to be waiting forever. The first iteration of anything, whether it's a course, an offer of some kind, a workbook, a lead magnet, a podcast, a YouTube channel, the live video, whatever it is, it's never going to be perfect. The first time you do something, it's really more for you than anybody else. And so if I had waited, like everybody said, oh, this is another should. It just popped into my head. You should niche down. Well, you know what? I didn't. When I first started out, I was a business and sales coach. How general can you possibly be? But I wanted to get started. And if I had waited until I had the perfect lead magnet or the perfect this or the perfect that, I'd still be in corporate, right? So just create it. Now make sure the lead magnet pertains to your paid offer because we want to, bridge the gap there between what you want the paid offer to be and the lead magnet to be. But don't wait for it to be perfect because there's not going to be one and you're going to evolve as you go. Okay. I'm going to take a breath and I'm going to let Maria take over from here because she has got some shoulds that y'all need to hear.
I just want to say your shoulds were just to echo it, like perfectionism. I'm a recovering perfectionist and I can tell you that you need, done is always better than perfect. And I'm a designer and I'll shout that out from the rooftop. Done is better than perfect. So with that one, absolutely. And then with audience and list growth and the numbers that you shared, like my last client, she was actually a ghost online. And she didn't have any social media, didn't have an email list. You couldn't find her, but she was running a multi-six-figure consultancy business. And I was like, this is amazing. It was like this little amoeba that I was like trying to figure out. And it's just, she's really good and specialized at what she does. And her referrals were awesome. And now she wanted to take ownership of it all and build a brand surrounding it. So you don't have to have all the things in place to get clients. So that's my little add to that. But yes, so to continue the conversation. So my shouldas are obviously kind of going to be branding and website related and those types of items there. But the first one is when it comes to coaches or service providers and they're pushing a particular platform, the one that they're really good at For example, they're pushing an all-in-one platform onto clients that aren't ready for an all-in-one platform yet. So yes, prepping for the future makes absolute sense. Like, you have to think 2 to 5 years from now. It wastes less time and money upfront and overall. But if the client won't be ready for such a platform, not within the next 2 to 5 years, is it really the best choice for them now and in the near future? If they're only going to be using like 1 to 2 items from that all-in-one platform, for example, that would be like a Kajabi or Kartra or similar. If they won't be using the tools to the fullest capacity anytime soon, simply because their coach uses it and they want them to follow the steps, so it doesn't mean the clients will be exactly like them. And I just want to add too, there's always affiliate links and kickbacks, and there's other drivers pushing them for you to utilize those platforms. So just check in there to understand why they're recommending it, because that might not be the best platform for your particular business model. And just because someone is familiar with that platform and is in their best interest to push that platform, is it really justifiable to force it on that potential client? So it's always thinking, again, are their best interests at heart? And are you recommending the best tool for the job? So my solution to that is be aware of all of your options. Make sure that all the options are listed and make an educated decision based on your needs and your future vision of those needs.
I love that. And I shared with you when we were planning this, that is exactly how I ended up in Kajabi. Because I was just starting out. This coach that I'd hired, she's 7-8 figure gazillion dollar earner. By the way, not a good investment because I got very little of her actual time, not what was promised. And they were pushing Kajabi, and I didn't know any better. And I didn't know the questions I should ask. And so here I am. And it's worked out fine for me. But if I had it to do over again, I would have picked a less expensive option, and come to find out, I'm a little blonde, right? Come to find out, she was an affiliate for Kajabi. So she's making loads of money on me all these years later.
So, yeah, you're an example. And I'm not saying you can't make it work, but realize there's many options out there, and always question what is their reasoning for pushing that particular platform out onto you. So that's kind of my number one shoulda there when it comes to websites and building websites and pushing the platforms onto the potential clients.
Right.
My next shoulda is it's similar, but it's a little bit different. It's pushing services that people aren't systematically set up yet to receive, or they don't actually need. So the example to this would be Google ads or Meta ads. And I've seen it happen so many times, and so many the ad spends that happened when you don't have a proper funnel or a website set up to convert the ad leads. So much money will be wasted. That any ad specialist with integrity should call this out for you to remain reputable. And I'm really calling it out. They should call this out for you. They should not set up everything for you when you don't even have the proper way to receive the leads that are going to happen. So the solution, and Tracy was already touching upon this, is to have the proper systems for paid advertising via landing pages, website, funnels, lead captures, email lists. But I'm also going to add, utilize your free and organic options first. So utilize social media and social platforms to grow your audience first, and test out your products and services before moving to paid. Paid ads can be very, very effective if executed correctly, but can be very costly when they're not set up correctly.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm a victim of this. I think I'm a victim of all your shits.
Sorry.
But seriously, so once again, I was in that coaching program, and they were, teaching paid ads, and I was trying to launch, and I didn't know any better. I didn't have proof of concept. I did not have sales conversions. I did not have an offer that people were clamoring to buy. They should have. They should have been honest with me and said, you have no business running ads right now. Yeah. Totally victim of that.
I've seen it so many times. So that it's like, but wait, where are your ads going? And they're like, oh, we're just boosting our posts on social media. And I'm like, okay, but what's that going to do? Like as a strategist, it's just like, it's painful to witness.
It is.
That's all I can say.
I'm feeling pain right now just talking about it.
I'm sorry. I know today's a tough day. Today's a tough day. It's supposed to be a fun, happy day, but today's a tough day. But it's okay. We're trying to prevent you from trudging through these and avoid these pitfalls.
Right.
So my last one is, of course, it's going to be branding related. Signing on clients for full rebrands or websites, again, when they aren't ready for it. If I can just tell you a little secret, if you're just starting up, you don't need a website, you don't need a logo. And I design these for a living.
Yeah.
And you don't need them.
Did you guys hear her?
Go,
you don't need them.
Go out there, get clients, get business, make money.
Yes.
When you're ready for that next step to really take ownership of your brand, then we can connect.
Yeah.
But I've just witnessed businesses and people when they didn't need a rebrand. So when someone's like, oh, you need to completely rebrand, and like when something's working really well,
yeah.
And then they're like, let's set it ablaze and start from scratch and do this instead. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, no. And the other is they just weren't ready yet. So those are the two times I've seen it. So again, I'm going to call out strategists. It's up to strategists to see the steps ahead with integrity.
Yes.
If we know after our initial call that the offers, products, mindset, commitment to make it work isn't where it needs to be to achieve success in a rebrand, we have to acknowledge that. We have to be transparent about that. I just had a couple of calls and I assigned them homework. I'm like, I feel the energy and the passion, but I need more information because I need the data and the information so I can run with it. And I gave them some homework to then come back to me.
Love it.
It's not like they're not ready forever. It's just they're not ready yet. So at least prep them and give them what they need.
Yeah.
So the good news is to that, and the solution to that is I can give you some signs to know when you're ready for.
Oh, yes. Lay them on us. Yes, please.
All right. So how can you know? There's a few telltale signs. So the first one is, and not many are happy to share this one, is that you're embarrassed to showcase your brand. You're embarrassed to share your website or your social pages to potential clients or to potential leads because you're saying, oh, my website is under construction, or you're not even letting them go to your social pages. Right. And that's you not being all in, right? That's you being 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So that's a sign that, okay, I think you're ready. I think you're ready for a rebrand because you're embarrassed to share what exists. Yeah. The next sign is you're continuously attracting the wrong audience. Oh, so, yeah, this one's a tricky one. So like you're posting content, you're sending out your emails to your list, you're sharing some links, and the wrong people are paying attention. Okay. And the right people aren't reaching out. When it comes to rebranding, that's a messaging problem. And that's also a target audience problem. So we need to figure out who it is you actually want to speak to so we can craft content to speak to them. So if that is happening, that's a big sign that we need to revisit that foundational part of your strategy. And then lastly is if you've had some significant pivots in your business and your business model or your offerings. For example, if you're known for X and providing X and you don't even offer this service anymore, it's time to bring your branding back into alignment, right? So you want to attract the ideal audience to where you're headed and bring them on that journey of where you're headed. That is a big sign as well. So if you've done some big pivots and it's not aligned anymore. So the good news is when you see those signs, you're at your optimal time to rebrand. So you don't have to struggle through any of those pieces alone.
Yeah, I love that. So everything that you've said is kind of like, we need to ask the right questions. And then we need to consider, especially with things like you need to run Facebook ads, or you should do a rebrand, or you should use this particular platform. We need to think to ourselves, does this person maybe have an agenda?
Yes.
Okay. I love
Yes, absolutely.
love it.
You know what? No one will look out for you more than yourself. So just being aware that these are possibilities, that possibly people don't have your best interests at heart.
Mhm.
Just consider all of the options. The way that you can know if someone actually cares is if they call things out
Mhm.
and they're transparent with you with, like if I like my base is I build WordPress websites majority of the time for my clients because that is the most versatile for what my particular client base requires.
Yeah.
But if they present you all of the options, you're like, well, you can potentially use this, and I'll give them the pros and cons to every single one, and I give them the choice, even if it's not me offering the services. That's how you can tell if someone is listening to you and what your needs are.
Yep. I love that. That's amazing. All right, Maria, you've got an awesome freebie for everybody. Do you want to
Yes.
tell? So everybody that's listening right now, especially on replay, if you will DM Maria the words clarity call, she will give you the link to set up. You want to tell them what it is?
Yeah. So, what I offer is when you're not sure of the next steps to take when it comes to your branding, when it comes to your messaging, when it comes to your positioning, when it comes to your website, like all of those things that are branding related, and you know that there's room for more. You've hit like this level or plateau, and you know that there's room for more when you want to scale and get to that next level. I can take a look at your assets. I can take a look at your messaging and see if everything is aligned, and then provide you some clarity on the best next steps to take. So that's a free brand clarity call, and I offer that up to whomever needs that type of assistance. It's my give back, and I love just providing people with at least knowledge of what they can do next, so they don't remain stuck. So that's kind of what I offer there.
Yeah, I love that. So DM her the words clarity call, and she can give you the link to set that up. And podcast listeners, we have it in the show notes for you, so you are not left out. And you guys know I love to give you cool stuff too. I've got a short free training that I did that helps you break through the noise of the online space to build the business of your dreams. So if you'll DM me the word dreams, I will send that to you. And podcast listeners, it's going to be in the show notes. Don't think I forgot about you. Maria, is there anything else you want to share before we end this and land this plane for today?
I want people to know that you have all of the answers. You can figure this out. You don't have to be stuck listening to people. I know we're tired. I know that we've been through so much, and we've listened to possibly the wrong people too often. And instead of staying in inaction, there are steps for you to move forward, and just look for the right ones that feel aligned.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you completely. Maria and I are two very aligned, authentic people that operate with integrity. And so, my friends, if you're thinking about doing something, DM us and say, hey, this is the business I've got. This is what I'm thinking about doing. Do you think I need this? And we're going to tell you, yeah, I think that sounds great. Or I think I might ask a few more questions, because I know you hear this a lot too, and it breaks my heart. Every single time I go to launch my 8-week group coaching program, which we're getting ready to start for promotion next week. Live master classes happen towards the end of April. Doors open May 12th. Every single time I have people say, Tracy, I would love to join you, but I have spent thousands of dollars on things that did not work. I'm sure you've heard that too.
Oh, with branding, it's lots and lots and lots of dollars that was spent and not getting them what they need at all. So that's the saddest part. And it's the being burned that makes it harder. So we're here just to help you avoid those things. Of course, our topic today, avoid the shouldas today.
Right. I love it. All right, my friends, you know that I'm normally live every Thursday at 11:30 Central. I want you to put that on your calendar. Now, this Thursday, I am not, because I'm leaving on a jet plane to go to Chicago. But that's why I did this on Tuesday, because I wanted to bring you something live. And Maria was so super cool to agree to hop into this crazy train and do this with me. So I hope you've gotten value from both of us. And the big thing that I want to share with you that I say every single week is don't go it alone. Being an entrepreneur is freaking hard. Maria and I have talked about it today. There's so many arguments for everything. There's so many people that it feels like trying to take our money. And if you feel like you're alone in that, you are not. We are all wondering what our next step should be. Who should we hire? Who should we listen to? And if you feel like you're alone in that, you're not. So I want you to get into a community of support. Maria, I forgot to ask you, what is the name of your free Facebook group? It's a great group.
It is Level Up Your Business Expert Fempreneurs. And it's all about businesses that are looking to scale and grow for female-led businesses. And it's a wonderful community. Yeah, I would love for you to join us. There's so much value shared within there. Absolutely.
For sure. I love your group. And so you guys when you are in this spot, you need to be surrounding yourself with people that understand. Get into Maria's group. You'll find those people there. And also my Be a Confident Entrepreneur group. Be a Confident Entrepreneur, get visible, grow your email list and your income. You're going to find the same people in that group as well. You can ask your questions and people will help you out. Maria, anything else you want to add before we go?
No, this was amazing. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm just grateful that we're able to share this message with so many.
Me too. All right, my friends, remember that when one of us rises, we all rise. So that is why we have got to keep cheering each other on. And I will see you all very soon.